What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Third and Longhorn post-game show. Man, we are recapping number 7 Texas against UTEP. Texas won 27-10. And beforehand, we were discussing, I have a list of positives I will start with.
Okay.
Fozzie called the game.
He did an amazing job.
Fozzie, great job today.
Did an amazing job.
Proud of you.
Great job, Fozzie.
Great job.
Our pregame show on Bevo Boulevard with KXN and KBVO.
Congratulations.
With Hills and Oak. Went great. Got to have Royale Ivy on there, which brings me to point 3. My old roommate and good friend Royale Ivy was honored for the Texas Hall of Honor.
Deserving.
And went down on the field. And guess what he was wearing, fellas?
Yeah, I seen him with the third
and Longhorn shirt.
This one right here?
This one right here. Yeah. So positives, all kidding aside, we'll start with the positives. And here's the list I had. Special teams. Special teams did well. Ryan Niblett did well. Bo Meester had a great game. And Mason Shipley did well. Made his field goals. Right. Defense played a pretty solid game overall. I'm trying to carry this for you guys. You feeling this here? Ryan Niblett had a great return game today. We did not allow a sack.
Yep. And
Ryan Wingo scored.
Yep.
So let's get into Hills. You're going to get this first. Before we get into it, my name is Nick Shuley, joined by Jeremy Hills, Aaron Williams, Alex Okafor, and we, all kidding aside, we were going to break down the game today and Texas's 27-10 win over UTEP. Hills, give it to me.
Let's start here. Malachi Nelson had 200 yards passing and 2 picks. And other than that, I won't call it trash time, but I'll call it, I really want to know what that number looks like, before the last 5 minutes of the game.
Last 7, 8.
Yeah, last 7, 8 minutes of the game. I'm curious what that number looked like. So if I got to get a defense day card, they were 0 for 3 on 4th downs, and you forced 2 interceptions. Mm-hmm. You guys, like I know that, turnovers win games, and turnovers won games today, right? Because neither offense looked amazing, I will say. So, you look at the other 2 phases of the game and you say, man, sometimes I'll take an ugly win versus a pretty loss.
That's fair.
I'll take an ugly win versus a pretty loss. But the bottom line is, and I don't think there's no way to dance around it, is that we got to get better on offense. We have to. We got to find our identity. We have to find some consistency, which Sark talked about in the interview pregame. We have to find a consistent flow on offense. I feel like we keep saying the same thing every week of you see these amazing plays that happen and it just lets you know about the talent that's on the team. But then you see this lull of just we're waiting for it. And I don't know if it's we're pressing and we're just trying to make, we've seen the same thing with Colin Simmons, right? We're saying, man, he just got to let the game come to him, right? On defense. But on offense, I don't know if it's we're pressing or we're waiting on somebody else to do it, or what the thing is. But right now, we don't look smooth. We don't look smooth right now. And I'll say, of the 3 games we played, I think this was the most choppy that I've seen the offense this season. Yeah, part of that I can imagine is Wisner is a big part of the success of this offense. Baxter is going to be a big part of what the success of this offense looks like. To have one not playing and the other go down immediately, you would say. We love to say next man up, but that doesn't always mean plug and play. And I think that's what we've seen today. It was kind of running back by committee. Simon and Gibson both 17 attempts for one, 18 attempts for the other, 67 yards for one, 64 yards for the other, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough because you would love to see a consistent running game make the game slower for a passing game that's coming along. But when we don't have the consistent running game, then we need the pass game to start carrying. And if that's not carrying, then you get stalemates. And I think that's what we saw a lot of. Other than the interception down there in the end zone, I can't really pinpoint a play where I'm like, what are we doing? So it's really just execution. It's amongst other things. I don't think that they're not playing hard.
Yeah,
I will not question their effort. I would not question their energy. I would not question their passion or the desire. It looks like they're out there playing.
Yeah.
It's just it really is. It's execution, man. We got to execute better.
Look, you said it. I mean, couldn't have said it better myself. I'm happy that we got the W. That's the number one goal every week, week in, week out, regardless of what the performance is on the tape, regardless of what the stats say on the stat sheet. On the win column, it has Texas being the winner.
Yep.
So congratulations to UT for another win. An ugly win, like you said, but a win at best. I got to get my hats off to the defense, man. They're really keeping this team intact. And we were talking about earlier, defense allowed the offense to be in great position. Defense allowed them to be on our side of the ball. 2 picks. And then we had a 4th down stop, if I'm not mistaken. Two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 turnovers right there.
Yep.
Actually, 3. I'm sorry, 3. It was 2 interceptions, 3 4th down.
So
yeah,
that's
5 turnovers.
That's 5 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's nothing that needs to be said. I mean, obviously there's like you said, the last I call it trash minutes of the 6-7 minutes they scored.
Yeah.
So I'm not really taking that. I'm really putting that defense held UTEP to 3 points, which I'm very pleased. I mean, 14 gets number 3, Ohio State. 7 last week in San Jose State.
Yeah.
3 this week. And what I say last week, we need to get from 14
You did
to
say
7
that.
to 3 to 0.
You
Yes,
did
sir.
say that.
So I'm very pleased with the defense side of the ball. Obviously, I mean, we have a lot to say on the offensive side, but sometimes some things that are just understood doesn't need to be explained. They know what they're doing is wrong, and they know what they're doing is not the standard of what UT is, what we're used to and what we're relying on, especially the last 3 to 4 years. Special teams pulled up a lot. I like the return game.
Yeah.
I like the return game.
Yeah.
Nibble was good.
But overall, still not where we want to be. Still not where our expectations are here on the 40 acres. And got to look forward to next week. You know, we try to be nice as possible. You know, I'm just saying as being positive as possible because we come from an era where the expectation is beyond high. I mean, you go to any other university, I don't think the standard of winning is like any other place but here. And the fan base here expects it. Your teammate next to you expects it. The coach expects you to win and have that energy, that camaraderie, that oomph into the team. And we just don't have it yet. So hopefully this week of practice, we come back and get ready for Sam Houston State.
But I mean, they look frustrated. You can almost feel
they
it.
being who? The players?
I'm just saying. No, I'm not talking about like frustrated with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, like as a unit, when you see that offense out there, you could almost feel it during Wingo's touchdown. To be honest, when you're down there on the field, you could almost feel like the release of like, an explicit.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's it literally, my guy was like explicit, like you know what I'm saying. But like literally, I'm on a serious note, it's like, man, like they feel it too. Like y'all know what goes into that. These guys been working since January. Yeah, you've been working since January for these moments, and you only get a guarantee however many are on the schedule. That's the only guarantees you get is the ones that are on the schedule. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're looking at that, you work 9, 10, 11 months for an opportunity at 12 games and then opportunity to keep playing from there for your bigger goals. But it's like, hey, man, you can almost feel the frustration. And I know they're going to get it. I know, but I'm like, man, I'm curious to see when
it's going to happen.
We're running out of runway of games that you can.
But I'll say this, though, like the craziest thing about, and this is one of the bigger differences, in my opinion, between the league and college, is that like in the league, if a healthy team is in their stride with great quarterback play down the stretch and a defense, you can almost, it's a handful of guys that are going to be there at the end. Mm-hmm. You know, like you can almost at the top of your head without even thinking, you say, okay, Philly going to be there, Baltimore going to be there, Buffalo going to be there, KC going to be. It's a handful of teams that are going to, because of that formula, probably Green Bay this year, right? In college, it's literally any given Saturday.
Any given
Saturday, right? So I'm looking at this like the ability to play defense in college, because the scores can get ridiculous
Outrageous.
sometimes.
It could be up
The
there.
ability to play defense the way we play defense will have us in every game.
I agree with that.
That will have us in every single game. So I'm almost like, to Adrian's point of like what the standard is, I'm almost just like feeling, hey guys, don't worry about nothing. Just keep getting better, because you got some soldiers over here that are gonna. There's no game where you won't be in it.
Yeah.
There's not a game on the schedule where you just won't, where you're getting waxed, where you just won't be in.
Well, and a lot of the teams that people expected to have the best defense, like Georgia today, allowed 21 in the first quarter. And they pulled it out. They allowed 30.
Oh, did they pull that out of there?
They pulled it out of there.
Man,
I'll
tell you what.
Barely. But I mean, that's another example of like, that's a team that everybody thought was going to have a great defense. And I do think, I totally agree with you. Us having that defense allows us to be in every single game. But Higgs and I were talking about it before. It's like when you have a great pitcher and he pitches, he allows one run, and
it could be,
if you expect there to be 2 runs that your team gets, to win that game. So that's what, as long and we can get away with that in these games, but we're going to start to see it, like, right. I mean, Florida's up 3-0 on LSU right now.
Yeah.
So you can't mess around, especially in the swamp. And I think we've really got one more game that we can really work on getting things right.
I want us to stop viewing it like that, especially like,
I know,
like
but
us media and us fans. I want us to stop viewing it like that. And Oak, you said it, and I've said it as well, of like preseason.
I know.
I want us to stop viewing it like that, and I literally want us to get back to the basics of like just executing our offense.
Man, this is a great point, though. Sark said in the press conference, sorry to cut you off, Oak, and this game reminds him of the Wyoming game from a few years ago where Texas won 31-10 on a frustrating night passing the phone. It felt a lot like that.
I'd agree with that. I'd say, going to Jay's point of the media and everybody framing it like we have a 3-game preseason before this thing takes off. I think the reason why people are framing it like that is because everybody sees and knows that if this play continues, as soon as we get to conference play, it is not going to be pretty. So that's why it's being framed like that, because we know it is almost a ticking clock before the competition escalates immediately. So I just wanted to point that out. But I guess my analysis for the game, I've been here kind of quiet. I've just been at a
low. We gave you a little time off.
Yeah, you gave me some time to load real quick. I'm just a little confused more than anything. I need to go back and watch the tape. That's the first thing I said walking in here. It's just I need to analyze the tape, because I'll start with the defense first of all. Defense was great today. 5 turnovers. Unbelievable. That's championship defense. We've had a championship caliber defense for the past 3 seasons, man. One of these years we got to capitalize on it. One of these years we have to. But defense played incredible. 2 big interceptions. Love the play by Jelani McDonald at the beginning of the game. Unbelievable. But I'm a little nervous that defensively we might be starting to lose our focus a little bit, especially towards the end of games. Like that last touchdown was a little concerning for me, just because that wasn't our standard. Gave up a big run at the end of the, or was it a run or was
it was a seam.
Seam catch.
Yeah.
It was backups in there. I know that's not.
It was bad, but there was a couple starters sprinkled in there. A couple starters sprinkled in there, but still, UTEP, whether it is our backups, like there is a standard that's set defensively, and you've set that standard for 3 years now. Don't fall below that standard just because offense isn't firing the way you want them to fire. Do not lose your focus, because guess what? If that defense starts getting leaky, we really have no chance. So defense, lock in, stay consistent, stay sharp. Now, offensively, like I said, I'm just a little confused because everything looks so difficult for the offense. Nothing looks easy. And Jay came in here saying it feels like we're pressing. It feels like we're pressing because there's nothing easy. Nobody's wide open. Where's the RPO game? We're getting 3 yards a pop on the ground. Nothing is made easy for Arch. And a lot of it is self-inflicted wounds for him. But I would like to see us just start a game, just having Arch, start a game, 8-yard run, then have Arch come out. Easy RPO or screen pass, just to get and ramp up a little bit. But it just seems like everything is so difficult. Also, what do we do well on offense? Like after 3 games, you would like to go back. Right. You would like to be able to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, here's a short list of what we do well. Here's what we need to work on. I don't know what that short list is. Yeah. Like what do you hold your hat on offensively? Also, I'm concerned about our depth on that side of the ball now. When you start talking about injuries, the running back room is starting to get a little bit depleted. Numbers are starting to go down. shout out CJ Baxter, man. He's looked so good this season. I hope it's just something minor.
Crazy, yeah.
Just a little update on that. Sark said it was a hamstring. He said it was enough to shut him down, but doesn't know the exact severity yet.
Okay. Well,
I respect that
it's a
decision.
hamstring. Yeah.
Hamstrings are tricky.
I
So
was trying to
we got to
knee
monitor
or
it.
Achilles.
And that actually tracks when you think about where like the recovery process and then getting back used to not only just game speed, but the toll that it takes on your body week in and week out. When you ain't played, bro, you're not used to that. Like you can see those soft tissue injuries start to pop up.
Yeah.
So
I hope it gave Sark a good view of like, okay, let's just hold Baxter for 1 week. Because if you ask me, Simon and Gibson did actually a pretty good job today for what they were given. I don't think we should rush it. Man, like you said, we don't have a playmaker on the other side of the ball right now. And the ones we do have that I feel like are playmakers, they're just injured right now.
Yeah.
But we can't have the guys that we need on the sidelines and no one stepping up. Simon and Gibson, I feel like they showed a glimpse of like, okay, I see a little something in there. We didn't really give you too much because honestly, I don't think we even expected them to be as much as they were in today. But for Baxter to just give one more a decent week before, like you said, things start ramping up conference play wise, I think that would be the wise decision because I actually like, man, Simon and Gibson were running the ball today.
It ran hard.
And I don't think you could play CJ next week. Like you said, I think you have to sit him down. I think we have enough to get past Sam Houston State.
To be
we
honest,
don't have to play CJ.
If you leave, if you're back, who you want to see get the reps because he's missed the reps because of injury, and we know that he's going to be he's a team leader. He's a former 5-star player. It's like, all right, this kid is. I need him to have the reps. You don't shut him down unless you have to. So I think it's safe to say he's absolutely going to be out next week.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and for your experience, because I'm not a running back in the running back room, right? You have Wisner down, and you have Baxter hurt this week. Do you, in your own opinion, do you even bring those guys out next week?
Wisner and Baxter?
Yeah,
not at all.
No.
These other because of that. Sark alluded to it in the pregame interview today when he was talking about we got to build depth. He spoke directly to that. And honestly, I thought about this when Oak was talking about the leaky second team yards that came in. And then it made me think about the Oregon Northwestern game a little bit earlier today. The score was 34-0, I want to say. And then Oregon gave up 2 late touchdowns as the game was. Obviously, you hate to see it, but there's nothing in the world like game reps. I got to let these young guys get on the field.
Yeah.
They have to understand what's being coached in real time and then the penalties for not doing what you're being coached to do. Like we got to have that. And then when I think about a running back position, to your point, AJ, I'm shutting down Wisner, I'm shutting down Baxter. I'm having these other 2 young boys take every single rep at practice because I need them to see it. Like that position is one where like the reps matter. It's hard as hell to stand on the sideline and get better.
It really is.
It's really hard. So it's like those guys got to take every single rep in practice. And I'm letting them know that, hey, I'm keeping it real with y'all. That timer has started. How many reps you want when Wisner and Baxter get back?
Yeah.
Show it to me on the field.
That's how you have to frame it too as a coach. Last point I wanted to make on the offense was I didn't see any push today from the O-line. And that's very concerning to me, especially once we get into conference play. I mean, we talked about UTEP. They're top, number 1 in the country in sacks, number 1 in the country in TFL. So they are very disruptive.
Yeah.
Very disruptive. But that's still no excuse to not get pushed without Arch's scrambling yards. I don't know what our yards per carry would look like. It might be below 4.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's what I'm saying. It might be below 4 without Archer's yards. So I mean,
I don't want to think about that.
We can't get over 4 yards of carry on this UTEP defensive line. Like there are a lot of issues with this offense that's very concerning. Obviously, we've stated multiple times, let's give it time. Let's give him some more reps. The clock is ticking, and I don't want to go back to what Jay said to where after this 3-game stretch, the preseason's over because this is not the preseason, but we're on the clock and we have to take a huge step next week.
Well, you're listening to Third and Longhorn. We are recapping Texas' 27-10 victory over UTEP. I'm Nick Shuley, joined by Jeremy Hills, Aaron Williams, Alex Okafor. Mark Higgins is back there. He's been running around with technical stuff. You got something to say, Mark? Here we go.
Prior to the show, Oak was able to take a look around the podcast studio. There's a new podcast stuff being built next door. And Oak, I want you to know, I just opened a GoFundMe. We're going to build a rage room in there. So when you come in, it's going to have like bats and plates and glasses, and you can just go at it.
Yeah, I've actually always wanted to do that. Is that where you go in there with a sledgehammer and just break?
Have some goggles on. And
Hey,
I need to decompress before these post-game shows.
Hey, fellas.
Pre-game.
I love y'all, man. Y'all need to just meditate and
Oh man.
Oh, here we go.
y'all just need a little yoga, man.
Oh,
That's how you
my
do it.
God.
Captain centered over here.
You don't need a rage room.
Boy, be grounded for
You don't need a
real.
rage room, man.
Man, I think another thing, we talked a lot about the penalties, and we ended up with 7 penalties for 81 yards, which is, that's a lot of yards, man. And granted, it's less than last game, but that's not a real big
By
feat.
20 yards. That's
Yeah.
like two penalties right there,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, for real. So yeah, man, it's this is a tough one to talk about, because I just think I think we have said that over and over again, and we said it all off season that we knew the defense was going to carry this offense, especially at the start of the year, but hoping that the offense finds that identity and finds that stride. And I think that's the concern, right? Like that's why everybody was so concerned and so quiet, and why it got so quiet in the stadium, because people are like, are we going to get this figured out? And they still got time, and I think there is time to grow. And it you guys know it hurts with chemistry when you have so many different guys coming in and out injured.
Absolutely.
Guys you thought were going to be in there, not having DeAndre Moore, not having Emmett Mosley. This is not me making excuses, because I'm not trying to do that, but it does make a difference. And Wisner looked electric against Ohio State. Like he looked like a different human being.
Listen, what I'm almost like not wanting to talk about it, because I'm just like in my heart of hearts, I'm like, does the running game just get this train back on tracks? And then I'm saying, is Wisner the spark to the running game? Like Wisner looked good last year, and he looked even better when we seen him now. Boy, look explosive.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Do you feel like Sark had to, man, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but do you feel like he had to dumb down the playbook a little bit, just because Simon and Gibson, Wisner and Baxter, 2 guys, so they're going to get most of the reps. So they're going to get most of the calls.
Yeah.
As a defensive guy in the backups, I mean, yeah, I'm paying attention, but like, I'm only paying attention to the packages that I know I'm going to go be in. Is it tough for the offense to find a rhythm with, one, obviously with the injuries, but 2, take back or tune down the playbook, because we're not really ready for Simon and Gibson to really, they're not fully embraced into that playbook yet. Is that
well?
safe to say?
I get what you're saying, but it really just depends, right? It depends on like, do you got like a super unique talent back there that's so different than what you want from the position?
Right.
DJ Monroe.
Right. Yes.
DJ Monroe
Yes.
was special, but he was so different than every other back.
Mhm.
The offense that we ran, they recruited a specific type of back for that offense. They created plays for DJ.
Right.
So if DJ went down, they probably are scratching some of those plays.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that's the case
Okay.
here. I think it's more so, if anything, is what we saw: 18 carries for one, 17 carries for the other. It's like, we got to find out what we got.
Mhm.
And we got to find out, can these guys run the offense?
Well, and look at this breakdown. I don't know if you guys saw this, the rushes versus passes in this game.
Yeah.
We have 56 running plays versus 25.
Well, the thing, I don't think we were in the wrong for that either.
I
Like,
don't
I
either.
love the mentality. Like, I thought that's how we should have approached this game. When you have a defensive line that penetrates and gets disruption, the key to offset that is run it right down their
Run it
throat.
at
them.
Hit them at it
I
direct.
agree.
Stop them from penetrating. So I thought the mentality was correct. We couldn't execute, and it wasn't effective. I felt like we regressed offensively this week.
That's fair.
If I could sum up our offensive performance, I feel like we regressed. Last week 2 for 12 on third down. This week 5 for 16. Last week 12 penalties for 115 yards.
20,
This
okay.
week 6 penalties for 81 yards, something like that. Like Ohio State, 6 penalties for however many yards. It's not getting cleaned up. I feel like we're regressing on the offense, and I think that's the most concerning piece for the fan base.
Yeah, and I do think you mentioned that it's important to remember that this defense causes some havoc. They get in the backfield, and you saw it this whole game,
You
right?
did,
Like,
yeah.
so a lot of the carries, the running backs were making a cut right as they got the ball, because there was somebody penetrated in the backfield, and Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking like y'all are absolutely right, but like you put up 226 yards rushing, 51 of that from your quarterback. But I'm saying 226 yards rushing is not a bad day at the ballpark.
It's not a bad.
You know, but I get what y'all are saying, and I don't disagree.
I'm just looking at the yards per carry, I guess.
That's
if
that's
you take
fair.
out Arch's rushing yards.
But I mean that's. Please don't take this out of context. I'm also talking to all of our beautiful listeners. Imagine saying I'm looking at Texas 2005 and I'm saying an asterisk of like take out Vince's rushing yards. I'm like, no, that's a part of the game. Like that is
true.
Oh, why are you looking at me like that, man? I'm saying simply that Arch's ability to run is a part of the offensive game plan. So I don't want to take
though?
absolutely is. They call quarterback design run plays intentionally.
But they weren't effective though.
That's not
Thank you, AJ.
true.
We've had this conversation before. We'll
Yeah,
save it because it's not the time.
Me and Oak in the car on the way to our house is 30 minutes later still arguing about this. But I'm saying that like there are quarterback design runs, and then he has DJ says it all the time. All the time. And DJ, in my opinion, is the greatest linebacker to ever play at this university. And he says it all the time. A quarterback that has an ability to out leverage a defense because of his ability to run puts so much stress on a defense. So me knowing that I have this skill set that my quarterback possesses, and I can say, hey, Arch, we're going to call ABC XYZ. I want you to look here and here. If you don't see it, don't be afraid to get out there and be you. And he comes back and he gives me 9 for 51.
Well, that's a little bit different. You started off by saying
I'm saying there's two.
Saying QB design.
It's a duality.
Runs.
There's two things there. There's QB design runs, and then there's additional scramble yards.
Absolutely. And I think those are completely different categories.
No,
You have to be.
Yeah.
Because
y'all
you're
want to
designing.
separate. Y'all want to separate. Y'all are saying for his rush yards total that also go to the stat line of rush yards for the team, we need to take out when a pass play is called and he decides to run versus when we decide to call a run play.
That's the majority of the offense right now is when it is pass plays, it ain't getting thrown downfield. It's him scrambling to get 6 yards.
Well,
instead of
today, I won't say it was his best day out there passing the football. So I understand, but I'm looking at Ohio State. The ball went down the field. The ball went down the field and it went down the field often in the second half.
Yeah, that is the strangest thing. And not that our offense looked great against Ohio State, but we looked better against a better defense, which to me doesn't really check out.
Like slightly regressing.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up the conversation with Jay Hills, I'm not saying take the yardage out, but the yardage you gain from scrambling and the yardage you gain from design runs to me are two completely different categories.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
one's designed to do something and then one is just the ability to do it.
So a playmaker making plays is how
just a scramble comes off of a pass play.
Yes.
QB design runs comes off of a run play. That's your run game.
Yes. But I'm saying his ability is an added dynamic to the rush game, regardless if it's a called pass play or a designed run play.
It does. It paints a different picture of how the rush game actually went.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
That's why I think you got to separate the two.
Fair. That's fair. I'll take that. That's fair.
Hey, y'all, if you guys have comments, questions, etc., get them in. If you guys want to contribute to our producer, Derek Joe's Chick-fil-A fund, we would appreciate that.
Also known as the Rage Room.
Yeah. Building out our rage room. So we
Derek can go first.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys get those in. Man, I don't have a lot else to add.
Special team.
Let's get to that. This
got a nice return.
Bring a smile to my face.
Picks, you know what I mean?
I do. I will say, Bo Meester looked good again. He had 4 punts, 191 yards, 47.8 yard average, 58 long, 1 inside the 20, and 1 at 50 plus. That's pretty darn impressive. Shipley nailed both of his field goals, took care of business. So, you can't complain there. And then Nibbles punt returns 3 for 72, averaging 24 punt return, like solid. We need him catching those punts from now on because when he gets it, he's pretty electric.
Absolutely.
You'd like to see him get a little more involved in the offense too when you see that X factor that he brings in there. Yeah, guys, I'm stretching here.
No. I mean, I it's one of them things, man. It's tough, but like, call it what you call it. Like, just 2-3 years ago, I watched JJ McCartney before he went first round. I watched him turn around and hand the ball off majority of the game, and then be able to spread them out and throw it occasionally and when need be. And I watched the best defense in the country that year lead Michigan to a national championship.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're
Like at the end of the day, football, for what as long as football has been around, two things have been true. If you can run the ball and play defense, you got a shot.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You got a shot. So I say all that to say, give me Wisner back, give me Baxter back, and let me just see.
Yeah, I'm with you. And by no means, I hope that wasn't my tone coming out today that I'm shutting down the season.
Yeah.
No.
It's so early.
No, it's way too early.
By the way, that's for y'all.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know how AO is.
Yeah,
talking.
it's
We're
way
good.
too early, and the league is wide.
It's
open.
3 games in.
wide,
We're 3
wide
games
open.
in.
But if we're going off of what we've seen the past 3 weeks, there are concerns, and nothing we've seen on tape should make us believe that we're going to be a force this upcoming season. Does it?
The defense.
Defense, absolutely.
Defense,
That defense, I said it's national championship
But we're
defense.
talking
That's
about
a-
team wise.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, like, all right, y'all know this. Like, the defense is championship level
It is.
good
Mhm.
and playing that way
Yes.
with an offense that we want to see continue to take steps to get better. Do you believe that that defense is good enough to give us a chance to win every single
Let me
Saturday?
say this.
Yes, but at some point you're gonna wear and tear on us.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You're gonna have us out there longer than what we're expected to be. You're gonna have us.
And I'm
know what I
praying
mean?
that that's the Saturday that we wake up.
And
Well, I'll just say this. We've had a championship level defense for the past 3 years with a very good offense to match up with that. And we've still fallen short. Now, fast forward to 2025, still have a championship level defense. Our offense is significantly worse than we've had the past 2 years. We would be naive to be thinking that we can make a deep run with the tape that we've seen so far. So let's not lie to ourselves.
I will say minus Ohio State, right? Like if Ohio State turns out to be who people think they are,
Mhm.
then that changes my perspective on it.
That's fair.
Because that we matched up pretty darn well with them.
We did.
And Dan
We
didn't
did.
play well and still managed to be in that game.
But that's what I'm saying.
but
Go ahead.
matching up, and succeeding the expectation are two different things.
That's fair.
my
That's true.
No, that's true.
point
That's
of
very
view,
true.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
That's I'm just thinking like this. Like, if I had to be like sitting here trying to figure it out, I'd much rather be trying to figure out the offense than the defense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
100%.
Like
I
that's
agree with
just
you.
how football.
Yeah. How many
I get
teams
that.
can you
Like,
count that have really good defenses?
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
At the college level, that's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to sound like just Mr. Pot. You know, maybe that's the yoga in me. Y'all need to come do a little yoga in that collective. But what I'm saying is simply this defense is so good
Mhm.
that though, like you said, that timer has started. I don't believe that saying is going as fast as people believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and
I
if the
think
special
that we
teams
take that.
have an opportunity, and we're going to have an opportunity every single weekend to figure it out because those guys are that good.
Yeah.
and if
That's a
your
good
punter and your return game play like that with the defense like that, it changes a lot of
It
it
does.
shifts a
Because
lot.
at the end of the day,
Field
as long as we're not turning the football over,
That's another
you
thing.
still got to go 90 to score on us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You still got to do that.
Well, and tell me, like, name me this. Like, what team who's played a tough schedule thus far?
Yeah.
It was blowing people away. Like, and you can say Oregon, but like they haven't played anybody.
That's fair. No,
Like-
that's fair. They played Oklahoma State.
We'll see what this LSU game looks like. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
yeah. I'm
score
not gonna lie.
is.
I'm
well,
ready.
LSU's big win was
The-
Clemson,
the
and Clemson's
the
1 and
toughest
2.
part is like I was ready to say like, hey guys, and I still think LSU's playing some really good ball right now, but Clemson has looked so bad
Yeah.
since that it's like putting a little damper on what I thought that win meant.
LSU and Florida 3-3, 8:50 left in the second quarter.
One
And
thing,
then, but you know who is playing some ball right now?
Who?
University of Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
My
Good.
listen, Carson Beck is out there for blood right now.
Yeah.
That boy playing some ball.
I was gonna say this is kind of sidebar, and then I'll get back to you, AJ. I saw it on X. I was about to say Twitter, but
Same thing.
they're saying the biggest cheat code in college football right now is getting a 4 or 5 year transfer quarterback. Like not having to develop your signal caller is the
Yeah.
biggest cheat code in college football, and that made me think of that when you started talking about Miami, them getting in a transfer, not having to bring somebody up to speed, just makes you think a little bit.
And we're developing
not-
a
not-
quarterback, and people
not-
forget that because
yeah.
of his last name. But he
Absolutely.
is developing as a quarterback.
it's a big last name.
Yeah, it is. But that doesn't, you know, that shouldn't be sitting on him. So
Yeah, It's unfortunate.
Yeah, no,
that's just
fair,
the way,
but-
because you can't be ready to be praised highly almighty before you get here and then not be prepared to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, but as
It's give
and
and
to
take.
his credit, he hasn't been the one that's like
no,
he's been
no,
he's
for
done
sure.
everything
He's
he can
handled the
to-
criticism very well. And honestly, I don't really think you really hear much of Arch anyways, which
He
that's
doesn't
the
talk
way
unless he has to.
that's the
Yeah.
way it needs to be. Arch,
Yeah.
he knows what he did. He doesn't need us or the fans or anybody else outside noise to tell him what he already knows. So I get that. It's just, man.
I mean, do y'all remember when Colt McCoy took over the starting job?
Yeah.
Y'all remember like this fan base and how they, now Colt was a little bit blessed, man. Colt was able to turn around and just get a ball to Jamal.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, just turn around and give it to Jamal, and Jamal
But
was going crazy.
The difference between Colt and Manny is Colt was a 3-star from a small town in Texas.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you know what I mean?
I respect that, but did Colt make himself a 3-star? That's all medias and writers.
And I'll
man.
say
that's
this,
media and writers. That do it.
And that's my point though.
Yeah, but like, so I'm saying, like, for the development of the player, I've seen what one of the greatest college quarterbacks to ever played a game of football. I specifically remember being at DKR playing against Nebraska in the stands watching the game. And
He was
what's
already
the
here
date on
before.
that? Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the date on
It's
that?
2007, man. It's 2007. Oh, what's the date on that? It's crazy, man.
Somewhere Fozzie's
I heard Nebraska, and
Yeah.
it took me way back. I'm like, no, we're not talking modern day.
With down Nebraska, they win in the physicality battle, and it shows on the scoreboard. And before Jamal had a ridiculous fourth quarter, literally, this is Colt. This is what goes on to be arguably one of the greatest college quarterbacks to ever play football. They are screaming in the stands at DKR. The home fans are saying, "Put the brother in."
Well,
And they talk about John Childs.
this person said
They talk
Colt.
about John Childs.
This person says Colt was far better in his first year. You're looking at a full year's worth of work versus 3 games of Arch Manning.
Listen,
like that's not fair.
And I'm not turning this on fan. What I'm saying is that like fans want perfection and a lot of points on the scoreboard, as they should. What is fan short for? Fanatic.
Yeah.
They are crazy people. Okay. QB1, get better every week.
Yeah.
Get in the film room. Take care of your body. Lead your troops. Show up on Tuesday ready to go. Like your job is different than their job. It's media's job to talk about the sport. You the man in the arena.
And it seems in Arch's defense too, it seems like he's been going about his business the right way. So
I agree.
we're not
That's
trying to
what
say
I'm
that.
sure.
So
He's
for
not out
him-
there like trying to grab the spotlight.
Right. So for him, this has to be incredibly frustrating for him as well.
Yeah.
Like as much as we're so confused watching the tape and watching this team each week, it has to be just as frustrating for Arch because he knows that he can play better as well. And he knows that it needs to happen quickly. So I'll give him credit for that, going about his business the right way, not throwing tantrums on the field.
Right.
And not that he would, but I've seen that before.
We've seen it.
That's what
We've
I'm saying.
seen it.
I've seen that before, and we're not getting that from Arch. So Arch does seem to have the abilities to be an outstanding leader. That leadership just has to translate to the field and to his production.
Oh, they were screaming, "Put the brother in." They wanted Colt to go sit down, man.
And Colt's defense, he was following Vince. So. He was following
Higgs has
Vince.
been patiently waiting. Higgs, what do you
Well, I
got?
got a couple things. But I'm sure Arch will address it on Monday. But there were some boo birds out there today, and that's the first time he's had to hear that. So
That's part of the game, though.
and he knows that, but I'm sure he's so
Yeah.
mature he'll handle that. But during the actual viewing at the end of the game, Oak brought up a great point about what a game like this does for the UTEP coach, for Scotty Walden. Talk about that. Like, even hanging in with a team like Texas, what does that do for him
I
as a coach?
love that guy, by the way.
I was gonna say, like
Phoenix is
UTEP,
crazy.
like a game like this, UTEP deserves to celebrate after a game like this. And nobody ever celebrates. There's no moral wins in football, but a game like this, where you home state team, a lot of guys on your team, majority of your team is from the state, and you walk into Texas Stadium and play the way that you did, able to get penetration against our offensive line.
Was in the game.
Yeah, was in the game for the most part. They played an excellent game. This is the type of team, or this is the type of performance that can elevate a program, that can take a program to the next level. Now, I'm hoping their coach doesn't get picked off before he's able to do that. But these are the type of wins that you can celebrate for smaller programs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it had to come against us.
You're 100% right. Like that's the type of performance. If I'm UTEP, I'm literally like, as I'm talking to recruits, I'm showing them what we're doing now, and I'm telling them we need you.
Yeah.
Like, look, if that's you running that shallow crossing instead of that guy, what you doing with that? And I'm pausing the film, and I'm letting what you doing with that if I'm throwing that to you.
Well,
we need you there. Like,
let's I'll show you. Let's get into the comments. And for those of you just joining us, we are recapping number 7 Texas 27-10 victory over University of Texas El Paso. I'm Nick Shuley, joined by Jeremy Hills, Aaron Williams, and Alex Okafor. Let's get into the comments. Thanks to Casey Taylor for the $5 for Derek Joe's pocket. Trying to stay positive, but this offense makes me nervous.
Nervous is a fair feeling.
Yeah.
That's a fair feeling. Yeah.
And if we're saying this in 3 weeks, then we're going to be really nervous.
Look, what was my man? What was my man name that had the comment? What was his name?
That was
Casey Taylor.
Casey Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, I will say this, brother. I'm hoping that if we got to be sitting here nervous, we sitting here,
Oh, Michael Moorhead was
okay.
One, right?
Michael, Mr. Moorhead, Mr. Taylor. What I'm saying is, if we got to be sitting there nervous, I hope we sitting there with a 6-1 nervous.
Yeah.
I hope we sitting there 7-1 nervous.
I'll gladly sweat it out if we keep winning.
We'll take our
sweat
win.
it out every week. Cardiac Longhorns is what we can. Listen, cardiac Longhorns. I'll sweat it out every week as long as we can come back with the dub.
Man, from Marley, Colin Simmons was not on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Did not realize that.
But the defense still held up.
Yeah, the defense looked good.
We're not going to worry about that.
No, think about that. Think about that.
Think about that.
One of the best players, one of the most dominating players in America did not record a stat today. And you still had that defensive point.
Yeah.
This is a championship defense. This isn't a championship Colin Simmons.
Yep.
This is a championship defense. And we got to accept that.
When one goes down, another one got to step up. That's what it is.
And like I said, we've put this type of defensive performance on tape for 3 straight years. So offenses have adjusted. They're not attacking us the same way. In 3 weeks, we haven't had many opportunities just to go out there, pin our ears back, give our best pass rush move, and get the quarterback down. That's not what I'm seeing from a defense's perspective. So there'll be time in the season for Simmons to really start heating up, and that's when I'll be watching.
And think about that. You're 1,000% right. And you still got 6 turnovers in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
You still got 6 turnovers, and not including the turnover on downs. You still got 6 forced turnovers in the last 2 weeks. This defense is good.
Yeah, they are good. Yeah, shout out to Kenneth Hernandez, a UTEP fan, said, love the show. Here to represent my team, even though we lost. Go UTEP.
Hey, that's respect, man.
Yeah, and you should be proud. Like, I like that team. I like
especially with a young coach like that. Like,
yeah, I like their coach.
Bro, his energy is crazy.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
No, I'm not even like I'm sitting there down.
You see him in the game?
No, this is the craziest part. Like, they're down 20. What is it? 24-3. 20 to 3.
Before they scored that
20 to 3. Yeah, they're down 20 to 3. Texas got the ball end of the third quarter. Bro running out on the field like a man with his head turned up.
Just the fact that he was onside kicking.
Look, like UTEP play, you would have thought they was up by 30.
Yeah.
I love UTEP players running with their hand. I'm like, God.
I don't know. Did you hear his halftime interview? He was barely breathing.
Went long.
He was barely breathing while he talked. he was going nuts.
He's everywhere. You could tell he's a very energetic.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, people always say, like, how do you know somebody loves football?
Yeah,
that's how you know somebody loves. That dude love ball, man. Yeah. That dude loves ball.
I love this comment. Damn, is Oak wearing a poncho? Yeah.
Some of us have to work on the weekend. This is by uniform.
Shout out to Poncho for the game day shirt. Don't hate.
Hey, give me one, man. I'll wear one.
From Luke Waters.
Luke Waters, listen, man, please add me on Instagram. We friends now.
Oh my God.
Jay, he's being the same.
Oh, yeah. And they're very comfortable shirts.
I was gonna say, shout out Texas Game Day, man.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong.
No, those shirts are comfy. Yeah, all right. From Feel Smart. It feels like we tend to play up to the level or down to the level of our opponents. Hopefully we can shake off the inconsistency on offense by the time the SEC games begin.
Unfortunately, that's been our MO for a while now. Mm-hmm. I remember being at the game 2 years ago. We playing Houston at Houston. We go up, 3 scores in the first half. They claw right back into it. We found ourselves needing a red zone stop on 4th down. Which,
in a generous spot.
Yeah, people say we got to
forget these games. Like, we gloss over and look back at the season. And there are moments like that.
Unfortunately, man, we have had and I think I genuinely believe that that's just young people. I genuinely believe that it is one of the toughest things to do is to get young people fit and focused and locked in and blocking out the noise every single week. And that may be what you were kind of one of the things that I don't even know if you meant it like that way, but when you talk about like a veteran quarterback, that may be. We're talking about. I don't know if you guys seen the pregame kind of scuffle between LSU and Florida, and then Garrett QB1 grabbed all them boys up and they said, man, that's what they would like. You could tell like pure leadership, pure veteran leadership. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and we're still young on offense. Let's see, RPOs. Can we bring some of those back?
That's a good
I'm really
point,
confused why we're not doing RPOs. If we, like you've been saying, with the ability that Arch has in his running, to be effective in the passing, you got to have a run game. Because if your run game ain't working, it's like, okay, we might as well just go ahead and stay back.
Yeah.
I guess what's a little bit more confusing, just to expand on that point, is when Quinn got here, like the foundation of that offense was the RPO game.
Yeah.
And Quinn isn't, and no offense, Quinn isn't half
It's
the
not-
athlete
that's
as Arch.
Quinn sitting on South Beach right now.
No offense, Quinn. Hey, Quinn, you got one of the livest arms ever. But athletically, we know where you fall short. But
Quinn just threw his shoe at the feet.
But I mean, that's what's confusing to me is Arch is a better athlete and can scramble, and we've done less of the RPO game. So that's why I said when just watching the game, I'm confused. I need to dive into the tape a little bit more.
From Casey Taylor, again, shout out for the sponsor comment. I need Jay Hills to teach me his ways on staying cool, calm, and collective. This team be stressing me out.
And no problem, brother. I'll tell you what. Every Wednesday at 12:30, I do Pilates at Collective. And,
always got to drop it.
Got the plug real quick in there too.
That's two so far.
I feel like you and Casey Taylor are literally making
I
this.
was like, if you guys
y'all talked about this
go to
before.
reserve.
my buddy, bro.
You guys should check out the guest house. Do you want me to get them all out for you? Let's see from Chris Bennett. 2006, Texas didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
From Texas Rocks, he's had 2 weeks against Cupcakes and only gotten worse. Time to move on. Now that's
Time to move on.
ridiculous.
Oh,
That's
crazy.
ridiculous.
All right. No, let's just
that's
ask this
irrational.
guy.
That's
No, wait,
irrational.
time out. Let's ask this guy a question. Move on where?
Yeah.
Where would you like us to go?
Yeah.
And by the way, please answer that. We want
I need him to like what do you
because I'm confused of what makes you think
Yeah.
that's it after 3 games.
No. You don't move on.
That's not how it works.
Not at all.
You don't move on.
Another one from Casey Taylor. We appreciate you. My mom Wendy wants to say she's glad Wingo got some plays and thank God for the defense. Hook 'em.
Yeah. It felt good to see Wingo get in the end zone. I'm praying. I'm hoping and praying. And Oak, you had spoke about this, I want to say, after the Ohio State game of like, where's the quick screen game? Where's the opportunity to just get the ball in the playmaker's hands quick? He got a couple of those. We tried it on the wide receiver little reverse. That didn't really go nowhere. But then we hit him on the quick game. He took it and grabbed like what? I think that was an explosive. I think he ended up grabbing like 15, 16 on that one. And then he had the touchdown catch. I'm like, yeah, probably 32 yards ain't like, you ain't take the top off the defense today, but it was good to just see the ball go from this guy to that guy for points, right?
Yeah, and they're getting better at manufacturing touches for Wingo.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned it's just so difficult. Like it's like every single one of those touches is just a hard play for him to make.
I will say the one catch he had gave me hope for that connection. I don't know if you remember that play where Arch took his time, stepped into it, hit Wingo over the middle for like 13 or 15 yards.
Yeah.
Like that's the connection we all expected, but we've only been able to do that a couple times like over the season, which that's the concerning part.
And then another thing, man, I'm becoming just a more. I'm starting to lead this bandwagon, the Livingston bandwagon. Did you see that kid literally go celebrate with Wingo on the end zone and then physically followed him from the end zone all the way to the bench, hitting him on his helmet?
Man, I love that. I love
celebrating
He's a
with
good
him.
kid.
Like,
Yeah.
They had quite the choreographed celebration too.
Yeah, they
Long
did.
choreography.
Yeah, they do. Honestly,
I feel like they messed up on the
I feel like they
handshake.
messed up.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to redo it.
They messed up first. I was like, nah, no way. You gonna go pat something. You ain't gonna go pat.
And then
Yeah,
I love that you guys have the deep analysis of
way
it.
too many
We should have
pats.
started with that.
Way too many pats, bro. No, man.
Oh man. Lastly, from Stephen Maddox, no comment, but he just gave $1.99 to us. So shout out to Stephen Maddox. Appreciate you, man.
No, but the guy. There's one more comment. The guy who offered to move on. Who he responded. Texas.
Here we go.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Where are we at?
It's starting.
Go to Caldwell, of course. Next man up, right? If your QB can't get it done against Cupcakes, you're about to get thoroughly embarrassed in a couple of weeks.
So you think Caldwell's going to do it?
So you're completely done with Arch Manning because you're willing to just scrap everything.
Throw a guy who hasn't had any reps in a live game and expect to do way better than the guy who has reps and prepares for the game.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling, but
I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't know about that one.
I'm glad our coach isn't doing that. But we appreciate everybody who commented, everybody who's been watching. Thank y'all. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the post-game show. And we will be back next weekend. We'll be on Bevo Boulevard for the pregame. Looking good in our poncho shirts.
And our poncho. He'll have his on as well.
What you mean?
Yeah, they're great.
I keep trying to never mind.
And then we'll be back here also for the post-game. That's going to be a late night post-game session. So, get ready for that one. Well,
Rage yoga.
Yeah. Rage rooms and yoga. In the meantime, we appreciate y'all. Hook 'em.